record on this? Yes, I know. Okay. So welcome to Sunday Songwriters. As I mentioned just a moment ago, Roland Roberts will not be with us. He's currently in California driving back from another gig. He misunderstood that we would be on Texas time. So my guest today is Emily Hicks, and Emily and I met at SWRF. I think you played in our room. Is that not correct?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
We have a showcase room that we do there called the People's Republic of Austin. And but you don't need a visa to be there. We call it that. Here, let me tell. Yeah, we call it that because when our beloved state legislature gerrymandered the map so that it was unrecognizable, somebody said, the people in Austin are not going to like this. And the response was, well, who cares what they like in the People's Republic of Austin? So, yeah. Yeah, we're the blue. This is according to another GOP legislator. We're the blueberry in the tomato soup. That's us.
That's funny.
And proud of it.
That's funny.
So, Emily, would you like to tell us a little about yourself and play us a song and kick us off?
For sure. So my name is Emily Hicks. I'm currently based in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I do a lot of stuff on Zoom with people in different time zones. So I'm used to, I already made all my time zone mistakes years ago. And I'm originally from Indiana, the Midwest. And so this first song I'm going to play is called Goodbye Indiana. It is available on streaming. It is just the song I wrote for the Hoosier State when I moved away to the beautiful state of Utah. Come on, girl, pack your bags, put your life inside a box. And whatever doesn't fit, well, you might as well get rid of it. Come on, girl, my love's waiting for me. Oh, and my love's waiting for me. Oh, so say goodbye. Oh, say goodbye. Oh, say goodbye. Oh, say goodbye. Oh, say goodbye, Indiana. Oh, goodbye, my sweet homeland. You've been good to me, Indiana. Born and raised by your gentle hand. I will miss the fields of corn and beef, running through those old oak trees. My love's waiting for. Ooh, he's waiting for. Ooh, he's waiting for. Ooh, he's waiting for me. How was the sound on that?
Perfect.
Great.
Great, because I can move closer or farther away from the microphone as needed.
You sounded lovely. I suppose you could be a little bit louder. So if you move closer, then that will
Yeah.
accomplish that.
Great, okay.
But of course, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I have no way of telling whether I'm louder than you or not. Unless, Jackie, let me know if we're out of
Yeah.
balance with each other. Thank you. 'cause
Okay.
you
You
were-
sound very quiet at the moment.
Oh, well, that's because I forgot to bring that over.
Much better.
Yes.
That's better.
So if we're going to talk about the place we're from, then I'm going to do this. I spent the lion's share of my childhood in Michigan, but when I was pretty young, I moved to New York City and found out that I was done with winter, for one thing. But this is the story of how I ended up in Austin. When I left New York City, I thought walls and lights were pretty, and wide open space, well, that was Central Park. And when I pulled into Austin, I thought soon I would be leaving, but a little bit of Texas got stuck here in my heart. Well, the sky's so big it scared me, but the people were so friendly. I kept putting off the date when I would depart for that west horizon, never realizing the longer that I waited, the more leaving would be hard. When I finally hit the road on Highway 10, I said, "So long, Austin, I won't be back again." But I missed Texas every day and every night. I missed Texas, even things I didn't like. I missed Texas and it was tearing me apart, 'cause a little bit of Texas got stuck here in my heart. So there I am in LA, and I'm thinking I have it made. But every now and then my dreams would fall apart, and all the shoulders I could cry on were in some distant time zone. So I would cry all by myself for the breaking of my heart. Ah. Now I smile and shake my head and say, how silly can you get? What could I have been thinking to be wandering that far? And the man who walks beside me came back so he could find me. And we're both firmly wed to the heart of the Lone Star. When I finally hit the road on Highway 10, I said, make room, Austin, I'm coming home again. 'Cause I missed Texas every day and every night. I missed Texas, even things I still don't like. I missed Texas and it was tearing me apart. 'Cause a little bit of Texas was stuck here in my heart. Yes, I missed Texas and I will never more depart. 'Cause a little bit of Texas, right out of the middle, it's stuck here in my heart. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw, indeed.
Thank you.
Yeah, the yeehaw. I was going to say I love the yeehaw. How long have you been in Texas now?
Since the early 70s, but I did go to LA for 5 years, and my life there was acceptable. And then it blew up, and I went, good, I'm going back to Texas.
Yeah, that's funny. I love that. I have a similar song too, because you said I miss Texas, even the things I didn't like. So I have a song called Far From Home that I wrote about Cincinnati, Ohio, which is notoriously known as Cincinnati. Lovingly known, notoriously known, I don't know.
Lovingly?
I love it. I love Cincinnati. Anybody who has spent time in Cincinnati loves Cincinnati. But it gets a lot of heat, so I hated it at first. So this is a song I wrote about Cincinnati, Ohio. I miss those traffic lights, stop signs and lines and tail lights, the way the sirens always kept me up at night. I miss those crowded streets, the endless concrete, and the way the city skyline walks out the stars. I miss those cracks in the wall and the hole in the floor. I miss those thin ceilings that unpainted door. All these things I used to hate before are all I can dream about now. Because I'm far from home. I feel it
Wonderful.
Thank you.
I know exactly what you mean. I walked around LA going, I don't get it. It's not like I didn't know Austin was beautiful.
Right. Yeah.
So there are some remnants of my childhood left in me. And there's remnants of New York and there's remnants of LA. And this song is kind of an illustration of what I'm talking about. And I'll explain it afterwards. But I still do actually, a show about the golden age of Broadway. And this was my encore after all of the traditional Rodgers and Hammerstein and Lerner and Lowe. And this is mine. Where are all the Gretas and Marlenas and all the Mae Wests? Where are they? No one tells the boys, come up and see me sometime. That's all out of style nowadays. But I still long for old times, steamy romance and satin gowns and stockings with seams and men that wear trench coats and fedora hats. I wish they'd bring that all back, 'cause I want to be a femme fatale. I want to be a vamp. I want to whistle like Bacall and have 'em all eating from my hand. They'd put me on a pedestal, competing for my glance. I want to be a femme fatale. I want to be a vamp. Though I am a liberated woman, sometimes I'd prefer to be a tease. And when I see those starlets with eyes come hither soft, I could pull that off, it seems to me. See? And men would buy me clothes and bring me jewelry and open doors and pull me out a seat and then stand by politely until I'd sit. Enjoy my sparkling wit, a little risque repartee with a femme fatale. I want to be a vamp. I want to be the party doll who upsets all their other plans. I know it isn't fashionable, but it's so elegant. I want to be a femme fatale. I want to be a vamp. Dietrich and Davis, they had it made. Mansfield and Monroe, hey, where'd they all go? Well, the women we admire now in the movies are all doctors and lawyers and chiefs. They don't flutter their lashes or swing their hips. They don't pout their lips and sit on anyone's knee. And if they're in some older profession, they've all been reformed by Act 3. They've given up their cigarettes and champagne. I guess we've come a long way, but I sure miss the day of the femme fatale. I want to be a vamp. I want to give the boys the eye and call some guy my honey lamb. I'd have 'em all in a spell. I'd have 'em in a trance. If I was a femme fatale, I would be sensational. I want to be a vamp.
I love that. That was so catchy.
Thank you. Well, what people keep saying to me about it is you ought to write a musical. And now I have. And I'll tell you more about that later.
Oh, so exciting. I mean, I could never write a musical. That is very daunting. So congratulations.
Thank you. So, yes, you
That's
could.
a lot of music and storyline.
Yes, but you still could. I had a teacher to show me how, and it just got picked up by the Musical Theater Educators Alliance new works catalog. And so it's available for production to colleges and high schools and community groups and whatnot. And
Great.
I'm literally holding my breath waiting to see what happens next.
Yeah, have you seen it performed yet?
Not yet, no.
Oh man, that'd be so exciting.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
That's really cool.
Okay, so what you got for us?
I'm going to change the vibe up from funny and upbeat to sad. So I have a new album, my debut album coming out this coming September, which is pretty exciting. And this song is going to be on it. I rarely play it live, but my producer really liked it. And I was like, you like it? I'm really glad you like it because I like it too. So we should totally put it on there, right? And he's like, yes. So I've started playing it live again. This is called Anymore. We were so naive back then, kids playing house with plastic knives. Sharing secrets under ceiling stars and riding into town on our bikes. Spent those summers 10 to 10, big gas these. Now all we share are memories, and all your pictures you are smiling. 10 years and you're still shining. I couldn't bring myself to call, 'cause you seem to have it all. And I thought you didn't need me anymore. I guess only fate's to blame. Our paths were always meant to grow apart. Now I sing at night to drunken crowds, while you sing to the baby in your arms. In all your pictures you are smiling. 15 years and you're still shining. I couldn't bring myself to call, 'cause you seem to have it all. And I thought you didn't need me anymore. Oh, anymore. How long is too long to wait until it's too damn late to rediscover what we lost? In all your pictures you are smiling. 20 years and you're still shining. Couldn't bring myself to call, 'cause you seem to have it all. And I thought you didn't need me anymore. Anymore. Ooh, anymore. So that's my song
Lovely.
about growing apart from an old childhood friend.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Somebody said something to me the other day that just really stuck with me and illuminated a whole lot of stuff. And I use stuff advisedly.
Stuff.
It is impossible to go through life without harming anyone.
Oof. Yeah, that's deep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you're the best, nicest person.
even if. So that was interesting. And I love your song.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see if I can remember mine. You played the prince and also the dragon. I was Hold on a minute. My earbuds are leaping to freedom.
Oh, I thought you just dropped your guitar pick in your guitar. That's what it sounded like.
What?
I said it sounded like you dropped your guitar pick in your guitar.
Oh, no, that's hooked to my thumb, fortunately, because I'm a
Smart.
past master at that.
Yes, I am.
You played the prince and also the dragon. A captive princess was the role you had for me. I didn't really need to be rescued, but I liked your company. I was the queen in my own private tower, but it only had one story before you came. I didn't plan for a knight in shining armor to come and save me. Take my hand. Let's not be prisoners of some fantasy. We can walk this land, you and me together, equally. I understand that you grew up believing your role was to slay the enemy, but I also have some skill with a sword, so I'll stand by you, and you can stand by me and take my hand. Let's not be prisoners in some fantasy. We can walk this land, you and me together, equally. Well, yes, let's be lovers, but let's make another reality. Take my hand. We won't be prisoners in a fantasy. We will walk this land, you and me together, equally.
That melody was so beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. My turn, I guess.
Yes.
So, as I mentioned before last song, I have an album coming out in September, and it's going to be called Weird, Wild, Wonderful, because that describes all the songs. A little weird, a little wild, all wonderful. And this is the song that is based off of. So I wrote this about my husband. My joke is, before I play, I always say I wrote this about my weird husband, then everyone laughs. But if you knew him, he is super weird. Also wild, also wonderful. And I'll drop a link in both chats to like my website and mailing list and everything if you want to like stay in the loop about when that's coming out. Here's Weird, Wild, Wonderful. You're like a beautiful glass table just before it shatters. A two-bedroom, two-bath without a door where it matters. You're far from perfect, that's alright with me, 'cause perfect ain't good company. You always say the right thing, 2 minutes too late. I know you'll bring me roses, but you'll make me wait. You live by your own timing, that's alright with me. At least it keeps me on my feet. Oh, and it wouldn't make a difference if you checked every box. It wouldn't matter if I look before I jump. 'Cause honey, when it's said and done, the heart wants what it wants, and mine wants you. Weird, wild, wonderful you. Your love shines like the sun in the middle of the night. You call me a moon and let me stand in the light. Most you are a mystery, that's alright with me. Oh, it's a secret I will keep. Oh, and it wouldn't make a difference if you checked every box. It wouldn't matter if I look before I jump. 'Cause honey, when it's said and done, the heart wants what it wants, and mine wants you. Weird, wild, wonderful you. And it wouldn't make a difference if you checked every box. It wouldn't matter if I look before I jump. 'Cause honey, when it's said and done, the heart wants what it wants, and mine wants you. Weird, wild, wonderful you. Whew.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So I understand exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like, okay, not everybody would put up with this, but I like you.
Yeah, there's some weird moments, but there's special moments.
So I want to say hello to everybody and welcome. We are truly international today because we have Janet, who is in Israel, and Jackie, who's in the UK. And the rest of us are here in the U.S. Hello to Lucky and Lara, who are on our Facebook version of this show. And hi, Mike, and thank you very much. KJR. I'm having a lot of fun trying to imagine what that stands for, but perhaps you'll tell us in the chat. Julia, hello. Nita, hi. And Mary Jo, otherwise known as Grandma. Hi, it's nice to meet you. My next one is truly sad because we lost W.C. Clark this week, and he was pretty much known as the godfather of Austin blues in the same way that Stevie Ray Vaughan could fill up a room with just himself and his guitar. W.C. Clark was similarly compelling and a wonderful blues man, and he's going to be a huge loss. His son has carried the torch on, but nevertheless, W.C. will be missed, and this is dedicated to him. An old friend stopped by the other day to open up the closets of the past so skeletons could dance from their hiding place, 'cause change is either here or closing fast. And we walked dense forests of memories, knowing past today we didn't then, and listened to the soft and minor melodies and sang our songs of absent friends. Perhaps they've received their heart's desires, where time's less than a shadow on the wall. And now that they have met the great simplifier, I hope that love's the only memory they recall. And it's funny how we knew when we were children that love has no beginning and no end. And funny how we'll seem to have forgotten until we speak of absent friends. I so loved the dreams we shared together. I so loved our travels on the earth. Perhaps the dreams and travels last forever, as birth and growth and death and then rebirth. And maybe one day we'll be reunited. Who knows what the universe intends? So raise your glass, raise your glass, raise your glass to absent friends.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
gorgeous.
Thanks.
Another gorgeous melody. With some, I love the little chromatic chords that you throw in every once in a while.
Well,
They're
thank
juicy
you.
and spicy. Well, now I'm inspired to do a finger picking song.
Okay.
So this song is called Different Kind of Life. Also going to be on the album. I'll probably say that a lot today. I wrote it back. I used to be a music teacher, so I taught music 5 years in elementary school. And about halfway into that, I started like taking gigging, songwriter stuff, musician stuff seriously. So I was working all day, singing with the kids, you know, and then singing all night at like bars and restaurants, and then waking up and doing it all over again is exhausting. So I wrote this song back in those days where I just wanted to find a different kind of life. And it's funny because one of the lyrics is, says I work 10 hours a day, and now my husband laughs every time I sing it because I'm no longer a music teacher. I just focus on singer-songwriter stuff, and I work from home, and he's like, 10 hours a day? Yeah, right. So, but this is from a past life. I remember as a kid I swore I'd never live like my parents do. Now I work 10 hours a day and I barely ever see you. I can't stand that it is dark by the time I get home. They say I'm living that American dream, but it don't feel like living at all. So I think it's time to find a different kind of life where we're free to roam and run. We got no time for time. Oh, the kind where we could just pick up and drive all through the night. Oh, to feel the water on our toes. Oh, don't you wanna go find a different kind of life? We can sell our stuff by a bus with a bed in the back. Travel across the states from the shore to the desert sand. As long as we're together, anywhere can feel like home. So I think it's time to find a different kind of life where we're free to roam and run. We got no time for time. Oh, the kind where we could just pick up and drive all through the night. Oh, to feel the water on our toes. Don't you wanna go find a different kind of life? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Somewhere along the way we lost ourselves. I know it's not too late to find a different kind of life where we're free to roam and run. We got no time for time. Oh, the kind where we could just pick up and drive all through the night to feel the water on our toes. Don't you wanna go find a different kind of life? Ooh, 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 ooh.
Lovely.
Thank you.
And you did it too. Good job.
I quit teaching. I miss it a little bit. But someone asked me recently, like, they were like, do you ever miss teaching? And I'm like, yeah, I miss teaching, but it wasn't my full-time passion. That's the key. It was like a part-time passion, and singer-songwriter is my full-time passion. So
I understand because I teach privately, and they are both my full-time passion.
Nice. Yes, that's hard when you have two of those.
Paid.
Teaching definitely pays a lot more money.
Yeah. So at one point, I mean, the whole subject of retirement is kind of we've worked it over quite a bit. It bears the bruises of our many discussions of retirement. And I said, you'll know I've retired because I won't teach on Saturday. Well, I don't teach on Saturday now. I don't even teach on Friday anymore. I teach Monday through Thursday. So theoretically, I'm retired. But since
Congrats.
I'm the meanest boss I've ever had, it doesn't look like retirement. But then, you know, like one of the things that came up is like you retire so that you can have the time to do the things you love, right? I'm doing the things I love. And I'm certainly not ready to leave. I plan to die with my boots on. So, yeah. David Olney died on stage in the middle of a song. And to me, that was the ideal way to go. Like, don't
not,
even...
Not ideal for the audience, but...
No, but for David Olney...
For him.
Perfection.
Yeah.
And, of course, he isn't responsible for anything after that. But, like in the middle of doing what you love, oh, yeah. So this is my song about that. I finally maybe made peace with the fact that I will probably not see world peace. But who knows? If I get my way, yes, I will. I will not be leaving without a struggle. No one will have to say, don't go gently to that good night. I'll be kicking and screaming and hanging on to the door jambs, protesting all the way that I'm not done with this life. I want to see peace. I want to see joy. I want to hear the truth without the noise. I want to see justice with my own eyes. And then I'll be ready and I'll say goodbye. Sort of. I believe Moses looked like Charlton Heston, and I believe he had a word with God. All I want to know is, when is it my turn? 'Cause I'm thinking miracles can't be all that hard. I want to see peace. I want to see joy. I want to hear the truth without the noise. I want to see justice with my own eyes. And then I'll be ready and I'll say goodbye. I want to see the face of peace. I want to hear the voice of truth. I want to know that dream is real. I want to have that choice. I want to see peace. I want to see joy. I want to hear the truth, withhold the noise. I want to see justice with my own eyes. And then I'll be ready and I'll say goodbye. Then I'll be ready. Nope. And I'll say goodbye. There, I've had my say.
I want to see those things as well.
Yes. Welcome to David and Lenny.
Yes. I'm trying to think if I have any song that can connect to that song in any way for a smooth transition, but I don't think I do. So I'll just play a song about childhood. I guess in the long way, you could kind of make a connection between the two things. Anyway, so I grew up, like I said, in Indiana on a street called Hickory Lane, and my childhood was blissful. I got to play outside all the time in the woods with my best friend who was my neighbor, and it was great. I feel like a lot of kids don't have that anymore, which is sad. So I like to look back and reminisce. So this is called Hickory Lane. I know a place where innocence is still alive. The children run wild from the morning until night, building houses out of boxes, making towns out of chalk. I know a place where we can climb a couple trees, or we can lay there, count the stars, or we can dream about lives, about the world, about who we want to be. Do you want to? Do you want to? Take a walk down Hickory Lane. See the houses, trees, and the train. When you walk on a sweet summer day, with me and the memories down Hickory Lane. I know a place where everybody knows your name. All the neighbors Oh, they stop to smile and wave while they water in their gardens, while walking their dogs. Do you want to? Do you want to take a walk down Hickory Lane? See the houses, trees, and the train when you walk on a sweet summer day with me and the memories down Hickory Lane. Maybe I just fantasize and maybe I idealize my youth, 'cause it's something to hold on to when I'm hurting by life, and I crave the simple feeling of a child. So, do you want to? Just say you want to. Take a walk down Hickory Lane. See the houses, trees, and the train when you walk on a sweet summer day with me. Take a walk down Hickory Lane. See the houses, trees, and the train when you walk on a sweet summer day with me and the memories down Hickory Lane. Ooh, down Hickory Lane. Ooh, ooh. Thank you.
Right, so
Sounds very enticing.
I had the best compliment one time. I think it was at Rocky Mountain Song School. Have you ever gone to that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I was in some sort of class and we were supposed to play our songs to the group. I think it was like a performance thing maybe. But this really nice man looked up at me after I played the song and he said, "I want to go to Hickory Lane."
Yeah.
Like, that is the best thing I've ever heard.
Well, isn't that what the song is supposed to do?
Exactly. So it was the best compliment.
That's great. Well, this is sort of about my childhood, not unfortunately about Hickory Lake, but it was from a prompt. And the prompt was, write a song about something you said you would never say. My mother lives in my... Let's see. There it is. My mother lives in my mouth. I can hear her so clearly as I make your sandwich and find your sock, check your homework. No, let's just leave that rock in the garden because I said to. That's why. My mother hides in my head, and she looks out my eyes as I watch from the window. You run to the bus stop, ponytail bouncing, hurrying up down the front walk because I said to. That's why, because I said to. My mother's fingers tap my shoulder. How is she getting so much older so quickly? She asks me. My mother takes a seat in my mind. And one day I'll be the one sitting in yours, hearing you speak as you watch your children. Have a good day, I hear you tell them, because I said to. That's why. And then my fingers will tap your shoulder. How on earth did you get so much older so quickly? My mother speaks with your voice as I tell you good night, and you question my choices and tell me you'll never say that to your children. You'll always give them such a good reason. Well, here's the reason. Because I said to. That's why. Because I love you. That's why.
Great song and very true.
That was great.
That's
Now
beautiful.
I
Beautiful
kind of want
tune.
to try the prompt out.
Yeah. It was easy for me to think of that one. By the way,
Yeah.
before we move on, tell us where you're going to be next. And I saw you put your website on the chat, but those things tend to scroll away after a little while. So please feel free to say it again. Where can people find you online?
Yeah, I'll repost it for sure. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Emily Hicks Music. Or you can just go to my website, emilyhicksmusic.com, and it has all the links for all the things that you could ever possibly want.
And where will you be playing next?
So I'm based in Salt Lake City, Utah. So if anyone's out in Utah, I've got a couple shows coming up. Let's see. I'm playing a house concert series at the end of the month, March 30th, that I'm very, very excited about. But you can always look at my calendar on my website. I keep everything updated on there. And I will be doing a Midwest loop in October. So
Great. Is SWRF a part of that plan?
nope, but Farm is part of that plan. I'm very
Uh-huh.
excited. I've never been to Farm before, but
Oh, you'll love it.
I'm born
You'll
and
love it.
raised in the Midwest, so I'm like, I gotta go.
Yeah, that's true.
And I've heard it's awesome. So,
It is. It's very welcoming and very comfortable.
but I will be going to Swarfa before I leave for a tour, just like a separate.
Oh, good. Okay, you already have a showcase slot.
No, I haven't
No.
applied for that.
I'm telling
I-
you, you already have one.
Oh, with you. Okay, I was like,
Yes.
wow, yay.
Okay.
Okay, one down.
Yes.
Yeah, I just love Swarfa. Everyone's really nice, and now at this point, it would be my third time. It's like I actually have people I
You're a
know
veteran.
now. Yeah, it's so different from the first time, and nobody knows you, and you don't know anybody. Anyway, this song I'm gonna play is actually available. I keep talking about my album coming out in September, teasing you with all these songs, but this one is out for streaming. It's called Breathe, and I wrote it with a friend, fellow songwriter here in Salt Lake, who you probably know, Jan, Alicia Stockman.
Oh, yes.
She's the one who introduced me to Swarfa and everything. We wrote it about dealing with anxiety. So I hope you like it. Windows wide on a mid-June night. It's warmer than it should be. Soft white linen clinging to my skin. I'm still chasing down sleep. My mind is racing through situations that hardly matter right now, till the voice of reason breaks through, drowns out the voice of doubt. Remember to breathe, go easy on yourself. Breathe, don't let the pressure melt away when everything becomes too much. Believe you are enough. Standing stranded and sweaty-handed in the coffee and breakfast aisle. Grocery trip checking off my list suddenly turns hostile. One simple task and all I ask is to not break down. When anxiety tries to conquer me, I'll stand my ground. Remember to breathe, go easy on yourself. Breathe, don't let the pressure melt away when everything becomes too much. Believe you are enough. Ooh, some days I lose the battle, some days I give up, but I'm still here, telling the girl in the mirror, remember to breathe, go easy on yourself. Breathe, don't let the pressure melt away when everything becomes too much. Believe you are enough. Ooh, breathe. Ooh, breathe. Breathe. Just breathe. Thank you.
Great.
That's my mental health song. I'll
That was
post my
beautiful.
my website link here. Thank you. The funny thing is I got hired by Utah Transportation Authority, so like the subway, well, we don't have a subway, the bus, the trains, all that, to play that song, just that one song at their conference. And I was like, oh, okay. So everybody, even UTA has mental health problems. We all do.
Issues.
Issues.
Yeah. So this is not entirely connected, but it's close. But before I play it, you can find me at janseides.com, where you'll find lots of music and jewelry made from my guitar strings and semi-precious stones made by Love and Life Art. It's really nice stuff. You should go take a look. Kathy Williams, I think her last name is Williams, but it's Love and Life Art, and it's she takes great care over it. I send her my guitar strings, and she sends me back beautiful things, which, when you think about it, I've been playing guitar for more years than I'm going to describe here, and I always thought there was something you should be able to do with used guitar strings, and now I know for sure that there is. This song was written about my daughter. She got to watch the towers come down from her bedroom window on September 11th, 2001. It was, I'm sure you realize, that close up, it was even more shocking than it was to those of us watching it on the TV news. And afterwards, before the dust settled. She had just gone up there to go to school, like maybe a month before. And she said, "Should I come home?" Well, if you're a mother, or even if you can just imagine being a mother, those words strike to the very core of your heart, and what you want to say is, yes, come home right now. But I couldn't really. And I said, if home is where you really want to be, then yes, come home. But if the path you chose is where you really want to be, then no, don't come home. It just about killed me to say it, but then I wrote a song about it and justified it to myself anyway. I know you've been watching the world go by, and so often it makes you cry and wonder if it's worth rising in the morning. But though it causes you so much pain, sooner or later it all will change. That's what it always does. When everything you counted on, everything you thought was true, turns around and runs away from you, well, what can you do but live your whole life, give your whole heart anyway? Seek your whole truth, speak your whole mind anyway. One foot in front of the other, step by step, day by day, any way you have to. I know you want to, but you're afraid. But what makes you feel that way is the message of fear you're hearing every day. But don't listen to what they say. Some people live their whole lives that way, but that's not you. You've only got a moment, and it won't last. You got lots of other hard times in your past. Your future's up to you, so live your whole life, give your whole heart anyway. Speak your whole truth, speak your whole mind anyway. One foot in front of the other, step by step, day by day, any way you have to, any way you can, any way you'll have to, anyway.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
That was beautiful, Jan. Just beautiful.
Thank you. So she stayed. She got her degree. Can I brag a little?
Yes, please.
Here's what she's doing now. She's the senior vice president for public relations for HBO. So I cannot
Wow.
regret telling her to stay.
That's amazing.
I know.
And that song sounded very musical, like musical theater worthy as well.
See, that's what my mother, I grew up listening to musical theater, show tunes and classical. And it shows. And there's nothing apparently that I can do about it. I've tried to erase it for a given song, and it will not be erased. You can still hear it in there.
No, it was great. I loved it. It was very uplifting. Almost
Thank
like
you.
Sound of Music, like, I don't know, right before the character takes their big leap to some, I don't know.
Oh, I
It was
love
great.
it. I love it. Thank you for saying that.
You're welcome. Yeah, I don't have anything that relates to that at all. So I'm just going to switch topics. So this is a song that I wrote with my friend Janie Waddell, and it's called White Picket Fenced In. It's about my husband again. I write a lot of love songs, which is unusual in the circles I'm in, the folk circles. Normally it's a lot of like heartbreak. But I can't help it. I write a lot of love songs, so I hope you like this one. I'm a free-range homebody, know where I belong, but you're never gonna rein me in. Don't listen to nobody, tells me that a wife ought to be more domestic, 'cause they clearly haven't met him. He loves the wild in me, locked down, never felt so free. Doesn't make me choose between planets and chasing dreams. Ooh, settling down ain't settling. Ooh, with him I've never been white picket fenced in. He's my sleeping slow morning, filling my cup before it's time to hit the road. Even when the rain's pouring, steady as a rock to my reckless rolling stone. And he knows I always find my way back home. He loves the wild in me, locked down, never felt so free. Doesn't make me choose between planets and chasing dreams. Ooh, settling down ain't settling. Ooh, with him I've never been white picket fenced in. White picket fenced in. Ooh, my firehouse, and always wanted a dog, and someday I'll make a real good mom, but I'm not on anybody's timeline. He loves the wild in me, locked down, never felt so free. Doesn't make me choose between planets and chasing dreams. Ooh, settling down ain't settling. Ooh, with him I've never been white picket fenced in. White picket fenced in.
I love that song. I've heard you do
Right.
that, I think, at Swerfa. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
probably.
a great song.
It's one of my new favorites to play right now.
I understand. Well, since we've brought up Swerfa, and by the way, hello, Myra, who is on the Facebook version. She wants to go to Hickory Lane also.
I saw that. I liked it. That was
Yeah.
sweet.
So there was a trans woman there. Her name is Flamey Grant. She's amazing. That's all I can say about her. If she comes your way, definitely you don't want to miss her show because it's mesmerizing. She has a voice that sounds like she eats raw meat for breakfast, and her songs, beyond description, you just have to hear for yourself. You know how there's some songs that just sort of create a little space around themselves and you live in that space for the length of the song? Mm-hmm. That's the way all her songs are.
I love Flamey.
Yeah, yeah. So I got to thinking about her. I've invited her to come and do this show, but she's moving house right at the moment. And so she said to get back to her later if I was still interested. And I wrote back to her, I'm never not going to be interested. So, yeah. But I got to thinking about her and about all this noise and fuss about Drag Queen Story Hour, and how compelling Flamey's show is, and how there's all these little 3, 4, and 5-year-olds that could have this experience, but they're not going to. And I wrote this song. This is not right. Lady Indigo takes her stage. Marmalade shadows dance on the walls. Before her, a cluster of curious eyes. Flickering fireflies wait for her call. Lady Indigo turns to them slowly. Her velvet-gloved hands gather the light. Silver feathers flash. The walls disappear, and her story takes flight. And it's beautiful and brave, full of fancy disguise, glances and sighs, dances that last all night. Beautiful and brave, but story hour's over. Lady Indigo paints brilliant hues, seducing you with dazzling charm. Mortals stray where they're not meant to, but somehow get sent to their true lover's arms. Lady Indigo in red satin and pearls shares a world teeming with treasure. Amid ominous rumblings, her hero so strong had a song for your listening pleasure. And it's beautiful and brave, audacious and rash, courageous and dashing, their mettle proved in the fire. Beautiful and brave, but story hour's over. And after her show, you go to your home. Her enchanting whisper remains, and it's beautiful and brave, full of fancy disguise, glances and sighs, dancing all night. Beautiful and brave, but story hour's over, and it's beautiful and brave, beautiful and brave, but story hour's over.
That was awesome. That was
Oh,
wonderful.
that's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, we used to have a drag queen all ages show here in Salt Lake City that was at a tea shop, and it was really sweet. I mean, they just basically like did karaoke to Disney songs and wore like really beautiful outfits, and all the kids loved it. But then it got protested one day, and they had to shut it down. I know, it was really sad. Like armed protesting, which I felt was a little extreme. But I do love Flamey, so I second what she said. Definitely check out Flamey Grant's music. Here's another love song for you, because why not? That's about all I got. I did write a song, a hypothetical divorce song one time, and I was like, oh, I wish I remembered it, because I would totally play it right now, but I don't remember it enough. So you only get love songs. is peeking through the blinds. Birds are singing that it's time to roll on out of bed. But I am safe inside your arms. I feel the beating of your heart, so I hit snooze again. Let's not be in a hurry this morning. You can't rush love like this. The world outside our door can wait a minute more. All I need is your kiss. 'Cause you're my warm cup of coffee in the morning. Fresh out of bed, freshly brewed. Oh, oh, just as smooth and delicious on my lips. Oh, honey, I'm addicted to you. Long for the feeling of your touch. I could never get enough. It sends a shiver down my spine. A habit I will never break. This love is running through my veins. I couldn't leave you if I tried. 'Cause you're my warm cup of coffee in the morning. Fresh out of bed, freshly brewed. Oh, oh, just as smooth and delicious on my lips. Oh, honey, I'm addicted to you. I shake, I crave the insatiable sweet feeling that is you. My heart, my muse. Oh, it's easy to get high with you, so let's just stay in bed past noon. Oh, ooh. 'Cause you're my warm cup of coffee in the morning. Fresh out of bed, freshly brewed. Whoa, 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 just as smooth and delicious on my lips. Oh, honey, I'm addicted to you. Oh, honey, oh, addicted to you. Ooh, little out of tune. Thank you.
Sounded great.
Only a little.
Only a little bit. Only enough to bother probably me and Jan.
Sounded great to me. And I do
Good.
have to leave, everybody. Take care. Be well.
It's sure good to see you, Neil.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much. See you soon, I hope. Bye-bye.
Bye. So I'm going to do this song I've been doing this week at Song Circles. It wasn't written by me. It was written by a friend, more or less. When I first got to Austin, there was a band here already in full swing and rising in the charts and whatnot. They were called the 13th Floor Elevators. And they were amazing. They were a psychedelic rock band, and everything was very loud, and there were a couple of unusual instruments involved, and the front man was a guy named Rocky Erickson. And I don't know the rest of them. I'm sure I do. I just don't realize they're the same people as were in that band. But Rocky was, to put it gently, certifiable. He was my next door neighbor for a while, and there were a couple of memorable conversations that proved to me that this person was not operating on the same plane as most of the people I knew. So, but there was this one song on one of the albums. The album was called Easter Everywhere, for reasons that you'll have to discover for yourself, because I'm just going to do this one song. It was written by Rocky and a woman named Clementine, and I've admired it for years, and I finally felt comfortable doing it, and this is it. chaos all around me, with its fevered clinging. But I can hear you singing in the corners of my brain. Every doubt that bounds me, every sound of riot, everything is quiet but the song that keeps me sane. I can hear your voice echoing my voice softly. I can feel your strength reinforcing mine. If you feel I'll lose my spirit like a drunkard's wasted wine, don't you even think about it. I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling fine. I can hear your voice echoing my voice softly. I can feel your strength reinforcing mine. If you fear I'll lose my spirit like a drunkard's wasted wine, don't you even think about it. I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling fine.
Oh, lovely.
Thank you.
Was that a cover of a song?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes. The song was written by Rocky Erickson and Clementine, whose last name I have forgotten. But yeah,
But first
it was on
name
the
is cool.
yeah.
Clementine.
It's on the Easter Everywhere album, and it was put out sometime in the late 60s.
Nice. How many more songs are we gonna do?
Well, it's 4:34 and we have till 5.
Okay.
So I'm guessing 3 more, 4 more a piece. Yeah.
Great. And so somebody just messaged me, Mike just messaged me and requested this song, which I was about to play because I was like, I need to play this song, but it's not one that I want to end on. And I think you'll see why. Well, it is a fun song, but it's not the last memory I want to leave you all with from me. But anyway, so I wrote this song with my friends in Nashville because I just was really tired of country music and it being all about like beer and whiskey, because I don't drink either of those things. But one thing I do drink is a lot of canned wine. So just as a joke, I was like, can we like just write a song about canned wine? And they were like, yeah, let's do it. Took us like an hour and a half. It was so fast. And then after we finished it, we were like, this is so good. So I ended up releasing it. So here's Canned Wine. It's Wine Wednesday, breaking out the sweet rosé. Let the bubbles just take me away. I'll be floating like it's Saturday. Don't need a glass, all I do is pop a tab. It's an unofficial holiday. Baby, let's celebrate, oh, in my favorite way, with canned wine. Raise it up in Greta White. If you're ready for a real good time, all you need is one to get a special kind of drunk. Beer's fine, but I'm feeling fancy tonight. Ain't gotta dress up to the nines to catch a bus. Put your pinkies up, baby, hand me my canned wine. Ain't going downtown, we can talk shit right from the couch. Budget-friendly, low-calorie, 12% ABV. Yeah, it's my favorite drink. Canned wine, raise it up in Greta White. If you're ready for a real good time, all you need is one to get a special kind of drunk. Beer's fine, but I'm feeling fancy tonight. Ain't gotta dress up to the nines to catch a bus. Put your pinkies up, baby, hand me my canned wine. Oh, 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 oh. Won't find it boxed, bagged, or bottled round here. Don't knock it till you try it. I think you're gonna like it, so cheers to canned wine. Raise it up in red or white. If you're ready for a real good time, all you need is one to get a special kind of drunk. Beer is fine, but I'm feeling fancy tonight. You gotta dress up to the nines to catch a bus. Put your pinkies up, baby, hand me my canned wine. Oh, 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 baby, hand me my canned wine. Oh, 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 baby, hand me my canned wine.
Love it.
That's my drinking song.
Fun
And why
song.
not?
Now you see why I didn't want that to be your final memory of me.
Yes. Yes, Emily the drunkard. Yeah, we get it.
Right. Exactly.
Before I do anything more, I have to remember to say this. Our next show on Any Sunday Songwriters will be on March 24th. It'll be with John Finan and, I just looked this up, believe it or not. John, who are you playing with? Oh my God, she'll kill me. John Finan and Laura Zucker, who has been on in the past. For those of you who have seen her, you know how wonderful she is. John is equally wonderful. I met him in Michigan when we went up there for a couple of shows. And he was introduced to me by my fine friend, Dan Hazlett, who has done this show a couple of times. And here's what I wanted to say out of all of that word salad, was if you would like to know about these shows and who's coming up and other things like what to look for if you're passing through Austin. Does one pass through Austin? I think one comes here on purpose more than passing through, but you never know. Then please put your name and your email in the chat and put something that indicates that that's why you have done that. And I will be happy to put you on the mailing list. It comes out once a month because that's all I have time for. So obviously no spam. And I will be delighted to let you know who's coming up. And it's always good. So since we're going for funny, I'm going to do this one, except that sometimes it's funny and sometimes it isn't. After you've survived one of those hard times, the kind that get you just before the dawn, anyone can tell you if it didn't kill you, you got stronger, 'cause it didn't pull you under. So the next time you meet trouble on the road, you'll know you'll be okay, 'cause you'll remember. This is not the first time, it's not even the worst time, 'cause you're stronger. But now you gotta wonder, why me? Oh Lord, why me again? I thought you were my friend, and I think I'm strong enough now. Oh Lord, I think I deserve some kind of reward. I've been calm and patient through grim determination, and I think I'm strong enough now. So I went down and I had my fortune read, to hear the love and riches in my future. Well, she just shook her head. No charge was all she said. And by the way, don't stay, 'cause that one's gonna hurt you. Why me? Oh Lord, why me again? I appreciate your attention, but I think I'm strong enough now. Oh Lord, I think I deserve a big reward. I know you got a plan, and I don't claim to understand, but I think I'm strong enough now. If you just need someone to toughen up, someone whose character needs tweaking, I know they can be found. I see them all around me, driving on the freeway any morning of the week. So why me? Oh Lord, why me again? Hey, why not one of them? 'Cause I think I'm strong enough now. Oh Lord, I think I deserve an Academy Award. Whoops, what was that last thing? Is this my cosmic debt, or did you make some kind of bet? I think I'm strong enough now. I know I ain't perfect yet, but I'm as strong as I can get. You gotta trust me on this. And I think I'm strong enough now. Oh Lord, I think I'm strong enough now. Get off my case. Uh-oh. I think I'm strong enough now.
I think I'll adopt that one. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, you should.
Yeah, that was great. I loved it. Well, I'll switch up the vibes then.
Okay.
From very positive and funny, this one's not sad. This one's about, I used to be a music teacher and had really great relationship with my students. And if anything, I don't miss the teaching. I just miss my students so much. So when I left teaching, I wrote this song about them. So this is called Let You Stay, and it is going to be on the album. Only it's on piano. You're too young to understand now how much you mean to me. You're not my flesh and blood, but you still have my love, and I got you under my wing. Oh, even if you think I won't remember your name, even if you think I won't see you the same, I promise if you show up by my doorstep one day, I'll let you stay. Ooh, I'll let you stay. This life won't always go your way, and I'm no fool. I know you're gonna make mistakes. So when you find yourself drowning in your darkest days, let me remind you of the light you've got inside. Oh, even if you think I won't remember your name, even if you think I won't see you the same, I promise if you show up at my doorstep one day, I'll let you stay. Ooh, I'll let you stay. Oh, even if you think I won't remember your name, even if you think I won't see you the same, I promise if you show up at my doorstep one day, I'll let you stay.
That was
So normally,
so nice.
thank you. Normally I play that on piano, but I didn't set up the piano stuff, so there's a little guitar version for you.
Okay. All right. So if it's free for all.
Free for all.
Yeah. I finished this one this afternoon, if any of them are ever finished.
No, they're not.
And it started out being a really sad story that I was telling from someone else's point of view. My stories of... After a while, you get bored with telling your own stories and you start telling what you imagine to be other people's stories. But this one ended up with a positive lilt that I really was unaware of before it appeared on the page. And then I went, oh, yeah, of course that's where it should go. So... The wind dances by. I wish I could dance with it, but my dancing days are some ways behind me. I'm like an ancient library full of dusty memories. So if you don't care for what I share, don't mind me. But once I had dreams, heroic dreams, that I never let anyone see. But I had such dreams. I was born in this house. It's where I grew up, or anyway, where I became taller. I was the youngest of 5, my mama's last baby, sheltered from cradle to altar. But I had dreams. Once I had dreams I never let anyone see. But I had such dreams. Once I had a chance to dance wild and free, to be so fearless you'd never have guessed it was me. So here's my advice. Don't let your don't keep your dreams inside. Seek them out, sing them loud and boldly. We all may explore where no one has gone before. And I'm telling you this because I wish someone told me when I had dreams, beautiful dreams that I never let anyone see. I had such dreams, wonderful dreams that I never let anyone Thank you.
So sad. Lovely though.
At least it ends on an up note. Don't
Yeah.
do what I did. Thank you, Janet.
But you said you wrote that from someone else's perspective?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, experimenting. But we find ourselves in that. I haven't yet, so I haven't gotten to the point where I'm bored of talking about myself yet in songs, so I'm not there yet. But I did kind of cross into writing from somebody else's perspective, except it was a cat. I'm not going to play it because I don't know it on guitar. But, that's as far as I've gotten so far. So I'm guessing this is going to be our last song because it's 3:52 or 4:52. I'm in Salt Lake City. So thank you for having me, and thank you everybody for joining and listening.
If you have two more, you may certainly do them, because one of the joys of doing this is we are not tied to that 5 o'clock mark. Nobody's waiting for this stage.
That is true. I think I'm fine with one more.
Okay.
I think I'm fine with one more. Because I want to close with this one, and I was all ready to play it. So this song that I'm going to play just tells the story of how I met my husband, and it is going on the album. And at first it was my least favorite song that we were planning to do, but then once we recorded everything, it has become my most favorite song, which is just so magical. So because in the recorded version it's very upbeat and fun, and I love it, so I'm really excited to share this one. This is called When You Look at Me. Yesterday said hello. At the time, didn't know just how important one simple word would be. Never let the moment go. It was caught in my head long after you were gone. I still could not forget the way that your eyes shined when you looked at me. Or two passing satellites, never seen something so bright. Feels like I'm living in a dream. Oh, would I get to see what you see when you look at me? Oh, 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 when you look at me. Oh, oh, oh. Yesterday went on a date. Cheap dinner you still paid. Lost in conversation, a newfound inspiration. Yesterday shared our first kiss. Taught me what it means to miss. And now I know why they call it falling. 'Cause I love the way your eyes shine when you looked at me. Two passing satellites, never seen something so bright. Feels like I'm living in a dream. Or would I get to see what you see when you look at me? Oh, oh, when you look at me. Oh, oh. Yesterday occurred to me, don't what I only be, and forever's not as scary as it used to seem. So put your change in the jar, 'cause the future's not too far. We'll need to save up to buy those little silver rings, 'cause I love the way your eyes shine when you look at me. Two passing satellites, never seen something so bright. I give to see what you see when you look at me. Oh, 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 when you look at me. Oh, oh, when you look at me. Oh, 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 when you look at me. Oh, oh, oh. Thank you.
That was wonderful. Emily Hicks from Salt Lake City.
Thanks for having me, and thanks to everybody. Grandma, my mom is on here too. She hasn't shown her face, but she's here.
Cool.
My best friend, Mike, and new friends. Thanks for joining.
So I'm going to do one last one. This is not normally my last one, but it will work as a last one. For all of those who've welcomed the spring-like, late spring-like days, but was a little uneasy about what they might mean about the summer. Me. This is for you. Magnetic fields fight their way across the skies and show us brilliant colors, the northern lights, and we are all reminded the beauty we have here, how fortunate we are to have protective atmosphere. The home we share, the northern lights remind us, has water and air. The northern lights remind us that there's no guarantee, there's no guarantee. The northern lights remind us, the northern lights remind us. Celestial looms weave the darkness into lights that dance above the planets to dazzle human eyes, and we are all reminded of vast eternity, how fortunate we are, however briefly, just to be the home we share. The northern lights remind us, has water and air. The northern lights remind us that there's no guarantee, there's no guarantee. The northern lights remind us, the northern lights remind us. It's a beautiful and deadly universe, and everything that we hold dear depends on our next choice. For though we send our rockets up to land on planet Mars, or lie back on the hillside to admire the stars, the northern lights remind us with their shimmering towers how fortunate we are to have this earth of ours. And the home we share, the northern lights remind us, has water and air. The northern lights remind us that there's no guarantees, there's no guarantees. The northern lights remind us, the northern lights remind us, the northern lights remind us.
Love that song.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming and staying and listening. I hope we can all uncloak to say goodbye. That would be lovely. And thank you to all the people who joined us on Facebook, including Carl, who I forgot to say hello to. But hi, Carl. Glad you came. Anyway, we've loved singing for you. This is Emily Hicks from Salt Lake City, and I'm Jan Seides from Austin, Texas, at least currently. And we're grateful to have your ears. Thank you so much. Oh, and tune in on March 24th for John Finan and Laura Zucker.
Great. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I'm going to stop the recording.